what does the day-to-day work of managing Amazon PPC campaigns look like? What does it look like? So it's a very systematic approach, and this is just on our end, on how we are dealing with things. And it also depends on the day-to-day work of managing Amazon ads of your role. So if you have a role where you're just managing ads, you don't have any client-facing responsibilities, but you literally just manage ads, that is the way how we are structuring it is on a weekly basis. So every day of the week, we have dedicated time for a specific main core responsibility. On a daily basis, what we are doing is we're taking note of whatever happened the previous day in the account, because we always like to do this post-mortem of the previous day, so we can know clearly where do we head and if we're still on track with the things that we wanted to achieve for the month. This is like looking backwards from the monthly core or the quarterly core or even a yearly core if you have yearly goals, but usually we do have only quarterly, and then on a monthly basis, and then on a weekly basis, and then on a daily basis. How close are we from what happened yesterday to achieve that quarterly goal? That's something that we would do on a daily basis. And then when it comes down to specific actions, then we would be sure that we're going to do all the managerial tasks like optimizations, negations, new content creations, time for investing in learning on our own, going through content that is available, seeing what is actually something that we should be trying, actually something that we should not be trying. So those are the things that we're doing. And then it really depends on the brands that we're managing, and if they have something specific, we're going to help them report on those things. If they don't, then we are just not really going to give them the best levers they can have. So the data itself, inventory, how can we move more inventory and make more sales? Those are the things. And this is strictly management related. Now, when it comes down to client related stuff, usually those are the things that are taking most of our time. And this is something that I'm also very more conscious about on how do we make sure that, you see, we are advertisers and they are paying us for services. They're not paying us for consultancy. And what we can end up with very easily, and this is more often from smaller than bigger brands, is that they are taking up us as, let's bounce ideas. It's great to bounce ideas. The service business is like, hey, whenever you would pay for your phone, you're not going to call the customer service and like, let's bounce ideas with you. It's like, hey, do I have internet on my phone? Do I have can I use my phone for the service that I'm paying you for? So I think that especially with smaller brands, they very much confuse on management versus let's be strategic, let's brainstorm, let's calculate stuff. They're kind of like taking advantage of you actually know stuff and want to take you on unpaid work. And this is something that is happening more and more often, and actually made me think of, hey, let's focus even on bigger brands, because at this point it's just like very time consuming. But when it comes down to that topic, these are kind of the things that we are managing. Getting back in summary, the day-to-day is managerial task. And if you are also client facing, you would be the back and forth between the client and either the manager, either if you are managing their ads also and also working on the client side.